So I'm Vincent Mioc. I'm one of the two co-founders of a company called Wildvertising. It's an advertising agency based in Brussels and in Geneva, and we've been serving clients from the fragrance industry and cosmetic industry for the past 15 years.
Thank you. Why did you decide to ask for help in the first place? What was the problem at the time?
The problem is that we've been stuck for a bit of time at the same turnover and the same number of people. We felt that we had opportunities to grow. We knew that we had opportunities to grow, and we had a bit of trouble to implement that growth, meaning that it means having processes, hiring the right people, and managing the growth. Being able to delegate are the main problems, main issues that we were having.
Thank you. Why did you decide to hire me as opposed to any other coach?
So to be totally honest with you, we've got a common friend, Benoit and me, so the two founders of Wildvertising, which is called Mathieu France. Mathieu was the previous boss of Benoit, one of the two co-founders of the agency, and he's been a real business mentor for me also for the past 15 years. So he's been working for you for a couple of years, or a bit more than that, Yves. And the fact that he recommended you made it a pretty good, easy choice for us, for Benoit and me.
What did I provide that you value the most?
So one of the first concrete points that we had to solve was hiring someone, but not just hiring someone. It was hiring a profile that we never had hired before, which is an account director. Hiring production profiles was quite easy for us. We know where to get the right people. We know how to hire them. We know how to integrate them in the team. But having someone that you have to get in your team and get in touch with your clients is something that we had never done before. So this was the first real concrete issue that we had. If we wanted to grow, we had to hire that type of profile because we had to not kill the bottleneck that we had with the three managers of the company, like managing all the business and all the relations with the clients. So we had to hire someone there. And that was a tough one for us because you have to hire the right person, but you also have to integrate him properly and learn to delegate. When you've been like doing everything by yourself, managing every client relationship for 10 years or more than that, it's not it's not an easy task. It's quite tough. And so that's the first really concrete point where we needed help and we felt that we needed help. The second one was to, I would say, you're always focused in a company like ours on servicing the clients. You're just getting from one job to another. You don't take much time managing your own company, working on the vision, working on a lot of stuff that are really important, but that you never do. In fact, taking the coaching sessions with you is taking a mandatory time to talk between partners, to talk about vision, to talk about hiring people, to talk about processes, to talk about a lot of stuff that you never talk about because you're just busy working for your clients all day long. So this is like a second big take for us. And I would say a third one is linked to what I just said is accountability. Like once you have like things that you have talked about during those coaching sessions, you've identified problems, then you've identified potential solutions and then targets to achieve. And then you set that up with you and the partners during the coaching session. And you've got a little voice that's going to say, if you don't do your tasks, you're going to get reminded about why didn't you do it? Never in a bad way, but it's just a good way, to have accountability and someone that reminds you of what is important for your company and what should be done to achieve the targets that we've set together.
So, what has been the result of working with me?
Major outputs, the hiring process, the growth of the number of people. I can say that we are now we are almost the double of people that we were like when we started the coaching session. And I think you were like a very important asset for us to accompany us during that growth period. That is for sure. The second thing is that we were, like I was just telling you before, we were like jumping from a job to another, to a client to another. And we were lacking a clear vision of who we had to work for, and what type of services we were the best to work on. Sorry for the last sentence, but I mean we really needed to know who we were, you know, like after 15 years, and we needed to take time to look in the mirror and to get things straight about the values, the services, and who are the clients we should focus on. So I would say now, after the work we've done together, we finally have an agency presentation where we have a lot of praise from clients and prospects who tell us that, okay, we understand immediately what you are. We immediately understand what you provide. And this is probably one of the biggest things that we have managed to build with you during that coaching session.
Okay, thank you. Um, can you share a few numbers of the result of working with me? I don't know, in terms of revenue growth or that kind of things.
I should have looked better what we have done during the I think so we've done a work that is like a bit more than 2 years, if I'm correct, Xavier. And during those 2 years, we are for the companies that we have now in Switzerland and in Belgium, we went from 2.2 to 3.7 in terms of turnover. I'm talking in a million of euros. And in terms of people, we went from 10-11 structure to a structure that is now a bit more than 20 people.
Now, thank you very much for this. Um, you 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 mentioned you have a presentation. Can you help me understand why that matters? Like, kind of, who cares about having a presentation?
Oh, it's the first tool that you're going to use when you're going to discuss with a prospect. I remember of a tour we did in Asia when we wanted to grow there. We had like a target at one moment, a dream, I would say, with Benoit, which was to establish an agency there. And we did a whole tour with prospects. And we ended the tour, which was like almost 2 weeks, with a kind of positive and negative feeling at the end. The positive is that we had no difficulty to have meetings anywhere. Meetings probably went well, you know, like we never had a meeting where we felt like absolutely no interest in who we were and what we were saying. But it didn't bring much. And I think that we also didn't come with something that was clear enough for the people about what we were really doing and what we were really able to provide them, and just to differentiate us from other agencies that they were already working with. So we ended there with like a strange feeling about having put much time, much energy for a result that was quite, I would say, disappointing to the least. And that for me comes from the presentation where we were just, you know, like putting nice cases one after the other because they were for nice clients or just cool and nice to show. But it wasn't telling much, and it wasn't, you know, like telling how am I gonna solve your problems and what am I gonna really bring to the table. So what we have now is something that we can really go with a clear discourse, something that is clearly and easily understandable from the client point of view. That the main comment we had is like, we understand who you are, everything is clear, and we understand what we can do together. So those are the main comments that we now have from business prospects that we've met. We've already tested that new presentation with a couple couple new prospects, and yeah, business is coming. That is always good to see. It's a good win for us personally to see that we now have something that we consider a tool to do business development. And it's a cool tool also because it's not only something that's going to be used by the partners of the company, but also by other people in the company. So people like Cécile, people like Corentin, who are now people who are also commercial profiles, they are now able to use that presentation and develop new business.
All right. So if I understand you correctly, you now have a better understanding of who your core customer is, what their real problem is, and what you do to solve that problem. And you have a tool to explain that to them, not only you, but also people working for you. So you are not the bottleneck anymore.
Exactly.
Now you explained before the impact of your presentation was or your sales speech was limited, especially outside of your typically geographic area. What is the impact now? What is the difference?
So, as just said before, we've tested the new version of that agency presentation with new prospects, one in Switzerland, one in New York City, and we immediately see the difference. Like when you end the presentation, you have like uh, sometimes a bit that feeling of floating, of something not being clear enough. Like you see that the people there is no feeling that is easy to perceive, about what you just did and the time you spent presenting. That is something that I felt, I would say, continuously before with what we were doing. And now that feeling is gone, I would say, because we are like 100% sure of what we are putting on the table. And it's not just that we are sure, it's the feedback that we get from the prospects. Again, the prospects are really saying, okay, everything is clear from us, from our point of view. We know what you do, we know what we need, and you have proven that you understand our business. You have proven that you can bring something to us, and that we can clearly have a deeper relationship than the one we have now, or that we can have a relationship to start with you. So for us, yeah, we clearly have a tool that is now really better for the founders of the company. It's a tool that we can now use with the rest of the team, or let the rest of the team use. They have now a real commercial tool to see new prospects.
Very good. So what kind of growth do you expect in the next, I don't know, 12 or 24 months based on the work we did together?
It's a good question. I don't think we're going to be limited by opportunities in terms of growth. I think we're going to more be limited in terms of ambitions and the targets that we have set together with Benoit. We have a target of 5 million euros in terms of turnover and a target of 30 people working for us. This is something that we will probably reach, if not this year, next year. And I think we can reach it quite easily. But this is probably going to be, at least for us, the end of the journey, as we feel it's the right size for us. It's the right size for what we can do, and we don't want to go beyond that. Maybe other people will take over and will be able to take the project to another dimension. But I feel that for Benoit and me, we started the company like 15 years ago. We were 4 people. Getting to 30 people, 5 million euros, I think it's a good achievement. It's a good target. We will be close to 50 years old. There's also a question of energy and what you're able to bring to the table. So yeah, let's see. For Benoit and me, that will be the end target. For other people younger who want to take over and bring the project to another dimension, they have the potential for me to go a lot higher than that.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Vincent. Final question. If someone was thinking of working with me, what would you tell them?
That you're working as a kind of human mirror, Xavier. It's a good way to do coaching, like you're not there to give an easy solution or to give a step-by-step solution by telling you, okay, you have an issue, here's step one, step two, and then you're going there. So it's more like you're facing us, like in front of our issues. First, try to clarify the issues. Like, are there really issues or not? Because sometimes as a founder, you're panicking, you're not seeing things clearly. Is it an issue and is it worth your time and your energy? So this is like the first big thing that you do. Then after that, again, you're putting the mirror in front of the faces of the founders and saying, okay, now what are the potential solutions? And you're not gonna bring them like on the table as something that easy, because you know that if you want people to really make it happen, it has to come from them. And I think that is something as a coach you understand really good, and you're able to put the people in the right direction. Like you're not telling them do that, but you're always pointing in the right direction. So the solution, you have the feeling that it always comes from you, and then it's probably easier to implement and to put in place. So I think this is like your big strength. You're also a very good listener. We've had the luxury to have personal sessions, you and me, and those personal sessions were like really good and helpful because there are moments where you can talk about, again, your issues, you not thinking clearly enough, discovering things about you, your profile, why you react the way you react, and things like that. And so it helped me grow as a person and as a leader in the company also. So I think this is really something I recommend to all people who want to work with you, is to have like the sessions, like which are like with the different people implicated in those sessions, the different founders, partners, management, etc. But also doing those individual sessions is really helpful, and you get a lot of them out of them. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Vincent, and I wish you all the best for the path forward.
Thank you, Xavier, and let's stay in touch.